Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Monday, the 18th of November, 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the commodity sector saved the local share market today with the big miners offsetting losses in other sectors. A bounce in iron ore prices helped BHP, Fortescue Metals and Rio. Also, there was a bit more confidence in uranium, aluminium and gold stocks. In the case of aluminium, a potential tax change in China could send up prices of that commodity. That news, for example, sent aluminium miner South 32 up 6%. But the Trump trade stocks, think technology, healthcare, financials, they struggled. Over the weekend, Wall Street fell back as the enthusiasm for Trump trade stocks diminished on fears of higher interest rates for longer. That hit the local market. By the end of the day, the S&P ASX 200 was flat. Well, that's not true. It was up 0.2%, not much, to 9,300 points. In corporate news, Life 360 co-founder Chris Hulls sold 1.2% of total outstanding shares so as to diversify his financial wealth. That hit its share price. It fell more than 6%, but it also meant Chris Hulls was about $36 million richer, at least in cash. Also, worth a mention, bond markets, the enthusiasm for a February rate cut in Australia has diminished. Now, the pricing in bond markets is a 50% chance of a cut by April, 100% chance by July. Story number 2, the big 2 supermarkets, Woolworths and Coles, are having their say at a public hearing into the sector this week. They face allegations of sham discounts from the competition regulator, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission. What they will say is that the period examined by the ACCC was particularly volatile. It was post-COVID-19, and the competition watchdog misunderstands how discounting works. Today, Woolies CEO Amanda Bardwell said the industry is fiercely competitive, not just Woolies versus Coles, but also Costco, Aldi, and Chemist Warehouse. She also denied that Woolies was land banking. That's the practice of holding onto sites so they can't be used by competitors. Story number 3, the outgoing US ambassador to Australia, Caroline Kennedy, called for calm over President-elect Donald Trump's picks for government positions. Speaking at the National Press Club today, she was asked about whether Australia should trust the US with sensitive information after pro-Russian politician Tulsi Gabbard was picked as Director of National Intelligence. Her quote, "Let's just calm down and see what happens," end quote, pointing out that all these people still need to be confirmed. It was a bit of a valedictory speech. She's about to head home. She was very positive about Foreign Affairs Minister Penny Wong. She said she's among the most impressive leaders on the world stage and is redefining Australia's role in the region. Story number 4, Federal Parliament is sitting this week and next week, the final fortnight before the Christmas break, although Prime Minister Anthony Albanese isn't around. He's in Brazil at the G20 summit. That takes a bit of sting out of proceedings. Today, question time was very much about energy policy and climate change, that type of thing. What an unusual event today. During question time, Teal MP Monique Ryan was asked a question. That never happens. It's always the Coalition and Labor that's asked a question. Anyway, she was asked a question. It was all about her private member's bill that aims to clean up politics. She got to have a whack at the government. She said integrity measures placed before the House haven't been debated by this government. And story number 5, the corporate regulator is suing National Australia Bank, alleging it failed to respond to pleas for help from hundreds of customers facing financial difficulties. ASIC alleges several breaches of the credit code. It alleges that National Australia Bank failed to respond to 345 hardship applications between late 2018 and late 2023 within the 3-week timeframe required by law. According to the Fin Review, some affected National Australia Bank customers were victims of domestic violence or serious medical conditions. In a statement to the ASX, NAB apologised. That's it for the afternoon report for Monday, the 18th of November, 2024. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, TikTok and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. The top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.